Howdy folks, so it's a little quick video about how powerful your network around you is and the people who you trust and getting feedback from those people is. I'm fortunate enough to have a really good network of people around me who I can get feedback from pretty much about anything, and that network is something I use all the time. I use for feedback. I've just done it on I got some feedback on a tagline for my non-profit organization, put it out on Facebook, ran a poll. I get feedback from people and I talk to people in my network. I've never really been like a great networker. I've never really gone and done the whole networking group thing. But within my network that I've got, and the people that I have developed a relationship with, I've got a really good network of people who I trust and who I rely on their feedback on. And nothing beats it. And it works both ways as well. Like one of my most trusted people in my network, who I speak to a lot about different things, is my mate Brad Goss. And it's a two-way thing. Now, with Brad and I, it's probably a 80-20 rule, in that normally I'm the one getting feedback from him about stuff, but very occasionally, which happened last week, the tables actually turned and it was feedback from me that he was getting, and it almost turned to where he was getting feedback on something from me. So it's a two-way thing as well. It can't always be a one-way thing. But if you're someone that needs to develop more of a network, then you should do it, because it's invaluable. It's absolutely invaluable. I love the group of people around me and my network of people. I don't have mentors specifically, but within my group, there are people that I will get advice from and talk to about specific things. For instance, Mark Carrington, and if you get a chance to check out Mark Carrington on Facebook, he's a business coach, he's an investor, and he's very successful at what he does. Now, Mark will advise me about everything related to finances, stock market, and patterns that are going on within the world economies. So if there's anything like that, Mark's the guy I go to. Outside the box thinking, Brad Goss is who I go to. Plus many tens of people more who I will go to about specific things, and they're masters and experts within that particular realm. And so although I don't have a mentor or mentors specifically, there are people that I will go to talk about specific things. If I'm honest, I miss having a mentor. I fell into my first mentor, and only one really, kind of fell into it many years ago, over 20 years ago now. And he helped me massively to get where I got at the time. And I've said before that if he was still around now, I reckon my life, business-wise certainly, would be very different to what it has been in the last 15-20 years since he wasn't around. And it's something that I miss, because it's something in a way the same as your network, to bounce ideas off and to get feedback from in an honest way as well. Many of the ideas and the things that I would come up with when I used to have my mentor Harry, he would dismiss out of turn as ridiculous, but he would ensure that I stood in the right direction, and I continued in the direction he thought was sensible with all of his years of experience in life and business. And I missed that, if I'm honest. And I haven't deliberately gone out and found somebody else, except, as I say, it kind of happened before with him. But what I have got is that network of people around me that I will go and talk to about specific things. And I have it the same way as well. I have people that ask me about specific things. So developing that network is ultimately really important, not just in business as well. You know, I have many people I can talk to in my network about nothing to do with business. And it's really important to have, and I would urge you to forge more of a network. Like I said, I've never been into, oh, I'm going to go and network with people, because that's just not me. But through the public speaking that I've done, through the events that I've been to, through just life in general, I've developed a pretty good network of people around me who I trust to advise me, and I trust to tell me their honest opinion without agenda. And it's one of the best things you can do. And if you've got a good solid group around you, people, you've always got people you can count on. You've always got people in specific areas that you can rely on for their opinions. And I would suggest that you look to do that. Like I said, not necessarily go out network, because that's not for everybody. Certainly wasn't for me. But the other question is this: if you could have a mentor, who would it be? And have you ever thought about trying to get that person that came into your mind? Because the power of having a mentor is incredibly real. Like I say, it worked for me back in the day. It was the single biggest thing in my business at the time that made me go in the right direction. And like I said, you know, if that mentor would have still been around in the last 15 years or so, maybe things would have been different for me with some of the fuck-ups that I've made in the last 15 years. Maybe he would have stopped that happening. And it's interesting that within 2 years or so of him unfortunately passing away, I started screwing up. And I think that's quite telling. But like I said, build your network of people that you trust. That's a big key. You know, you've heard me talk about it before. Some people ultimately you will think are, their intentions are right, but actually over a period of time, maybe they're not. And that's something you have to avoid. But if, like me, after nearly 44 years now of being around, you feel that you've got a good network of people around you, you will not look back, because ultimately those people will be there to help you. And as I say, vice versa as well. I got people that ask me about specific things as well. And having that honest feedback from people within your network. As I say, I do it from anything from ideas for, you'll see me, if you watch me on Facebook, you'll see me ask opinions about book names that I'm thinking of doing, you know, all kinds of different feedback. And it's really very powerful. And you should look to do the same. So if you haven't got a good enough network in place, really work over a period of time to get it in place. Pick people carefully. Make sure you don't bring people in that perhaps have got their own self-serving agendas. But over a period of time, it really pays to do it. Thanks for watching. Keep it real, and I'll catch you soon.